So why is this happening now? I mean, people say, oh, is the cloud less safe than the data center? No, it's not. The cloud is actually potentially safer than the data center, but you need to use automation. You need to use policy as code for various reasons. In the data center, it was physical infrastructure, pretty static, manually deployed, configured, and maintained. What that meant was there was a lot of friction in the process of putting it in place and configuring it. By friction, I mean things like picking a vendor, writing a PO, having it show up on the loading dock, having usually something like an Excel spreadsheet telling the guys who are racking and stacking it where to put it and what to plug into what. Its configuration. This was a weeks or months long process, sometimes more. And what that gave us was the ability to tell ourselves, because it was rarely true, but to tell ourselves that we were configuring things properly and that they were secure, etc. In the cloud era, building that whole network, again, is a single API call or a handful of API calls. These environments are highly dynamic. So these things are appearing and disappearing at incredibly rapid speed. All of the friction is now gone because it's API driven. And that means that securing things manually is basically impossible. And the bad guys are attacking things automatically, right? So we have to automate our security and our policy in cloud to keep up with the pace of cloud. But the good news, the silver lining to all this is, for the first time ever, those same APIs that can be used to deploy and configure cloud infrastructure at speed, those same APIs give us the transparency to secure them at the same speed if we do it right. So a common approach to this is to use infrastructure as code, which leverages the programmability of cloud infrastructure. It's repeatable, it's testable, it's shareable, scalable, and peer-reviewed, Terraform, CloudFormation, things like that. But we need to match that with policy as code.